Samsung has been on a roll lately, putting out 4 sets of wireless earbuds in less than 2 years, each one with significant improvements compared to the last, including these new Galaxy Buds Pro. If you buy them, most of you will be really happy. So why is it that I'm having a hard time recommending them after using them extensively every day for a week now, and what are the 2 problems that I've personally experienced with them? That's exactly what you'll find out after watching this review, as well as which earbuds I would recommend instead of these and why, which are also linked down in the video description below. Let's start out with the good, and the first thing that really stands out is the sound quality. Samsung is once again using dual drivers like in the Galaxy Buds Plus, but they've redesigned them and you could definitely hear the difference listening to them side by side. They promised balanced sound and wide frequency response with rich bass, silky treble, and a wide soundstage. Now I would agree to almost all of that. The dual drivers definitely provide deep, rich bass, and that treble stands out, particularly in songs with a lot going on, such as rock music, where these provide great instrument separation and clear vocals. The only thing that I wouldn't agree to is their claim of a wide soundstage. Now, it's not bad, but it's nothing special, and Samsung's own Galaxy Buds Lives are noticeably better if you care about this. These things sound fantastic for earbuds, and after using these for a bit, it is tough to go back to my AirPods Pro because of the lower sound quality. The difference is very noticeable. With that, if you're an iPhone or a Mac user, I had no problems using these. They paired without any issue and they connected consistently and quickly pretty much right away every time I pulled them out of their charging case. Of course, you won't get all of the features on an iPhone, such as 360-degree sound, which is similar to Apple's spatial audio, or the ability to read out messages and having a hands-free assistant, but if you don't care about these things, they worked great, and they also had great range, and the sound quality was indistinguishable compared to when I had them connected to my Galaxy Note 20. Now, Samsung still hasn't updated their Galaxy Buds app for iOS, but thankfully these earbuds sound the best in their default normal mode, so no need to go into the app in order to change the EQ like you had to do with the Galaxy Buds Plus. For the gamers out there, these have about 300 milliseconds of latency, which isn't great, and it's right there, right at the line of being usable, depending on the game and how picky you are, but it is a good improvement compared to the previous versions, and surprisingly, the performance is the same on the iPhone, even though you don't have that gaming toggle. What really stands out is watching videos and especially movies on these, where of course there is no latency. Because of the improved dual drivers, the rich, deep bass is much closer to a real surround sound system than most earbuds, and all of those really low sounds that shake you in an action scene are actually immersive and they pull you into the film. And with that, the vocals are still very clear and easy to understand instead of being muffled by the action. Apple, please use dual drivers in your AirPods Pro 2. It will take your excellent spatial audio to the next level. And with that, Apple, please copy their voice detect feature. This is one of my favorite new features, which allow you to keep active noise cancellation enabled, and when you start talking, they will automatically go into the ambient mode and stay there until you don't talk for about 10 seconds. In real world use, this usually worked really well, and 10 seconds was enough of a buffer for most conversations. It does take about 2 seconds for them to switch from the time you start talking, and I did have a few times where they would switch back too early, so it would be nice to be able to adjust this to say maybe 30 seconds, but this feature is definitely not a gimmick. With that, the ambient mode actually sounds pretty good, being a big improvement compared to the Buds Plus, and the default normal mode sounds the most natural. I think a big part of this is because of the much better microphones. Take a listen for yourself to how the mic compares to the Galaxy Buds Plus and my AirPods Pro. This is the microphone quality of the Galaxy Buds Plus. This is the microphone quality that you can expect with Samsung's new Galaxy Buds Pro. And this is the microphone quality with Apple's AirPods Pro. In real world use, I didn't have a single phone call where the person on the opposite side had a hard time hearing me, even when I was in loud environments. And each time I asked how I sounded, they responded that my voice was clear and easy to hear. Great job, Samsung. That is a big improvement. Another strong point is battery life. Now sure, they can't touch the crazy 11 hours or so with the Galaxy Buds Plus, but I don't expect any earbuds with active noise cancellation to last that long. And Samsung's claims of about 5 hours with ANC on is spot on. and the buds charge really quickly when you put them into their charging case. Together, you get a total of up to 28 hours of use, but that claim is based on use without active noise cancellation. With it on, it's more like about 18 hours, which is still very good. And I only had to charge twice in the last week, simply by placing the case on a wireless charging pad for a few hours while using the buds, and then they are good to go. Speaking of the charging case, Samsung ditched the older, longer style, and they're using a square case like the Galaxy Buds Live came with, but with a few updates. The earbuds are easier to place in, and both of the magnets that hold the buds and the ones that hold the lid are quite a bit stronger. Personally, I miss the older shape since it took up less width in my pocket, which is really nice, especially if you have a wallet in that pocket, but for most people it won't matter, and the case is fairly small compared to many other brands. One of the ways that the Pros stand out compared to Samsung's older earbuds and most that are on the market are their waterproofing rating. These are rated IPX7, which means that they can be fully submerged in over 3 feet of water for 30 minutes, and they should still work. That is way better than the previous ones, which are rated mostly for splashes, but even though they have this rating, Samsung still doesn't recommend using them on the beach or in pools, and if they get damaged, it doesn't seem like Samsung will replace them. Still, having this rating gives way more confidence that they will hold up great when working out, or if you're using them outside, say in the rain or the snow. So that was a lot of talk about the good things that the new Pros offer, but what are the 2 problems that I talked about, and why is it hard for me to recommend these? The first issue I found when using them is long-term comfort. When I first tried them on, they were surprisingly comfortable because Samsung redesigned the silicone tips so they are much thicker, and with that, it's mostly just the tips that go into your ears, just like the AirPods Pro, and also with that, they added an air vent to release pressure buildup, similar once again to the AirPods Pro. These definitely improved the in-ear comfort, but that's not where I had an issue. The actual buds themselves increased in size quite a bit, filling in the space in your ear so that they can fit all the new tech in there while not having them stick out of your ear any more than before. Because of this, after about an hour and a half, my ear starts hurting where the Buds Pro touch, and after about 2 hours, I have to take a break from using them, and I'm not typically someone who has an issue with earbud fit. Regular AirPods were great for me, as do the Pros, the Sonys, and the same thing with the Galaxy Buds Live, so it's a bummer that these aren't working out, and I can't use them as long as I can with other earbuds. Now this might not be an issue for you, but since they are quite big, if you have smaller ears, I would definitely keep this in mind. My next problem is the active noise cancellation. It does work, and it works better than the Galaxy Buds Live, which are only useful in select environments, which led me to call their Ank more of a marketing tool than an actual useful feature. My issue is that it doesn't work well enough for earbuds that cost $200, and it's only slightly better than the Galaxy Buds Plus, which have no cancellation whatsoever, and they block out a ton of noise simply because they have a sealed design without an air vent. The AirPods Pro noise cancellation is noticeably better, and the Sonys are even better than that. Because of this, if you're looking at the Galaxy Buds Pro for their noise cancellation, I wouldn't count on it being great. And if that's the main reason for buying them over the Galaxy Buds Plus, I wouldn't do it. With that, the main reason why I can't recommend these is because of how good the Galaxy Buds Plus are, and because of the price, where you can currently get them for $109 brand new and under $80 refurbished, which is a shockingly good price for those. I'll go ahead and leave links down in the video description to those deals. Now sure, the Galaxy Bud Pros do sound better and they have a better microphone, but is it worth paying double for those improvements and then having slightly less noise in some environments? Honestly, no, I don't think so. And with that, if you want comfort and even better sound quality than the Galaxy Buds Pro and you don't need to block out noise, check out the Galaxy Buds Live, which are now $140 or possibly even less when you're watching this video. I'll go ahead and link those down below as well. Overall, the Galaxy Buds Pro are great earbuds and I have very little complaints. If they fit your ears and dropping $200 for them doesn't hurt your wallet, you will really enjoy them. But seeing how fast Samsung is releasing new ones, I bet we'll soon have some that are more comfortable and have way better active noise cancellation. Go ahead and click over there if you guys want to see my full detailed comparisons, and click above to subscribe to see more videos like this one and help us reach 600k subs before our official 2-year mark. That would be awesome. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.